As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Yeah.
As I walk through the server farms that I have built today, I take a look at my commitments and realize they can't pay. But that's just perfect for a founder like me. You know I love the game, I'll figure it out eventually. 50 billion burning, but that ain't nothing new. You know me and my partners, we just push on through. I ain't never funded a plan that didn't need the government to back. Even if the CFO let the quiet part slip through the crack. Keep spending like the money's never gonna end. Make the commitment first, figure out the rest around the bend. We're building age, at least that's what we claim. And if taxpayers gotta fund it, well, that's just the game.
Been spending most our lives living in $1 trillion paradise. Told you there's no bubble twice. Living in $1 trillion paradise. Keep the questions off the mic. Living in $1 trillion paradise. Markets crash, but we're alright. Living in $1 trillion paradise.
September, I say consciousness is firmly off the table. November, I say transcendence, whatever keeps us stable. They call me contradictory, but I call it pivoting. From override your instinct to be afraid of everything. Google called a meeting with the fringe I laughed about. Turns out 3 or 4 researchers got some clout. I said no bubble on a Monday, felt so proud. By Friday 1.5 T gone not so loud. Now I'm posting from Beijing about the pace. Same China, that's a threat, now it's a lovely place. Career advice, uncomfortable while the market burns. Answer 0 questions, that's how most stuff I earns. 30 questions asked across these many days. I responded with my travel photos, motivation, no ways. They want accountability, I give them inspiration. Keep scrolling past $1 trillion liquidation.
Been spending most our lives living in $1 trillion paradise. Told you there's no bubble twice. Living in $1 trillion paradise. Jensen gave a speech so nice. Living in $1 trillion paradise. 3-minute dodge precise. Living in $1 trillion paradise.
They asked me, is there a bubble at the UFAIR forum? I talked for 3 whole minutes about everything but the criteria. Moore's law and data frames, recommended systems too. Anything that dodge the question, standard interview. Said the AI spending's less than what you thought. While my customers are begging for the bailout that they saw. $100 billion deal that made my stock go high. Buried in the filing letter of intent surprise. No assurance that the deal will ever close. 2 months of market gains built on who knows. Now they asking about selling chips to Beijing. Nanos counters behind, but let's sell them everything. If I missed earnings, whole world would fall apart. That's not confidence, that's terror in my heart. The house of cards is shaking, foundation made of sand. But I'll keep deflecting questions, that's the master plan. Nvidia's underbought, I said it clear and loud. 9 trillion coming, I was feeling proud. Forgot to mention while I'm bumping up the stock, I was selling every share I had around the clock. Booked $15 billion in gains on $30 billion I ain't paid, explain. Forward contracts, vision funds, and wrong plays. 4-for-1 reverse split, coming in a haze. Every time I do the split, something crashes after. 2006, we work disaster. 2026 is coming, history repeats. But I'll be on my yacht when the music meets the feed.
Been spending most our lives living in $1 trillion paradise. Silence paper too real nice. Living in $1 trillion paradise. 15 minutes, shut it tight. Living in $1 trillion paradise. Markets open, ads offline. Living in $1 trillion paradise.
November 1st, we published what they didn't want to see. 1.4 trillion gap in their economy. 5 million people read it, couldn't shut it down. Paper 1 spread every week, all across the town. November 20th, paper 2 was set to fly. 15 minutes later, halted, didn't even try to explain what policy we broke, what rule we bent. Just silenced us while markets crashed, that's how the message went. Friday afternoon, 4:13 p.m., markets closed, ads restored. Silent once again, no explanation, no apology, no shame. Just internal escalation, what a lovely game. We ask the questions that the industry won't face. They answer with their silence, travel pics, and empty space. But the market validated everything we wrote. 1.5 trillion reasons, that's the final note.
answers. 30 questions, 26 days, 0 answers. 30 questions, 26 days, 0 answers. 30 questions, 26 days, 0 answers.